Welcome back to News Insight. Someone rightly said if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill us. Now it's at the central bank. Honorable Eli, the World Bank. The World Bank said there's a debarment of 2 companies in Nigeria and their CEO because of, they said, corrosive activities in their actions. What do we make of that?
Well, rather unfortunate. We have always cried in terms of our practice here in the country, corruption, and it's most unfortunate that it has to be World Bank, external bank, that will dictate how Nigerians with their companies are charging and then shortcutting the interest of the citizens. I think it's just because corruption has become like a normal thing here in the part of the world where if you are connected, you are mighty, you have funds, you can just ride on people's rights, take what belongs to the general public. Just like we discussed here briefly yesterday about power holding, the NEPA, the kind of corruption. You take over public businesses, take money from our banks, and then you are not servicing the people. You keep charging people for services not rendered to them. And then I wonder if the country, if we don't have agencies and government offices that are supposed to be checkmating, to be watching how things are being done, So our level here, our kind of system encourage this thing. If the World Bank had not bothered to evaluate the situation at hand, it would have just been a normal thing because the Nigerian system does not checkmate activities of business owners and then how things are being run. And it's rather unfortunate.
All right. There's something about the World Bank, what they do. Sometimes their monies are loan, sometimes they are grants. And especially when it comes to poverty alleviation. And they chose these 2 companies to help so that
they can reach out to
these
people.
activities will reach out to so many people. But now they also have their standard of operation. They have their SOPs, what to do, the companies you give contracts to, how the structure should be and everything. So from the beginning, these 2 companies knew what the World Bank wanted and their structures. How come they didn't follow that? Is it as a result of the Nigerian mentality?
Thank you very much. You see, it goes further to confirm what the Nigerian have been, what we have been crying out for from this table, what corruption can do to a nation and what it has done to us. What was the story? The story is that there were jobs to be bidded for, like you said, that the World Bank needed organization to help fast-track grants to alleviate the poverty situation and those vulnerable people. And they want people of integrity, men of honor, that is organization that can prove this integrity and honor. And this named company bidded for the jobs. They put themselves out that they want to do this on behalf of the World Bank. They compromise the officials of the World Bank, which is what they do every day in Nigeria, and all the processes. This is coming to light because it is not entirely Nigerian thing. If we're to be Nigerian, you won't hear anything. In fact, they will be executing the job, feeding fat from the job. Those officers that made themselves available to be corrupted, nothing is said about them. But the World Bank said that in the process of investigation, they own up.
They cooperated.
They cooperated and then they repented. So it also shows that these companies have been doing business with the World Bank, like you said. So they know the rules and regulation, but they still went ahead just because it is something is in their DNA as Nigerians to, to buy bypass rules to get what they want. So they also bypass the rule and they do all of that. And now what has happened? They have given us another bad name before the world, that Nigerian companies are corrupt. And the CFO, though they said they were giving ban for some period, but
30 months.
Whether you like it or not, it's on record that job monies meant for alleviation of vulnerable people and poor people
I still be preyed on.
are being preyed on by privileged Nigeria who put themselves forward as men of integrity and men of honor. You see, we have a long way to go when it comes to the issue of corruption. Like you said in your opening speech, if you don't kill corruption, corruption will kill you. As it is, I think corruption has already killed Nigeria. What is left is for corruption to bury Nigeria. But we hope that corruption won't bury us.
Amen.
Amen. So we know we've always said it on this table that look, what we need is one right person at the top. Like when you mention the issue of late Yar'Adua, it's always a painful thing for us to remember. A man who was on the path of justice, part of development,
Part of law.
the man just gave in to the cold hand of death. And Jonathan came in, he was doing the right thing. The ragamuffin in this country ganged up against him.
Even beyond the ragamuffin, let's not just focus on the ragamuffin. It's also evident that he also had some other bad people in his own government. He had the good intentions. There are a lot of things that we look at. Look at the Abamoro saga in interior.
Yeah.
Look at Desiani's running of NNPC and the money that were all stolen. The others we know that Jonathan had a good intention. Of course, the people that still worked with him too, they are Nigerians.
Well, not saying that what you're saying is not right. You will not, as a matter of fact, compare the team Jonathan assembled for his government to any other thing that's come after him. So there were room for improvement. Jonathan is a man who listened to complaints and all that. But because there were some few mistakes that the man has seen, but he needed another opportunity to do, but they said no.
All right.
So, well, let's see what we get from this government. This has come before the light. We'll see the action the government will take about these two companies, whether they will be allowed to operate in other area or they will still face the same ban for 30 months.
Okay.
It's yet to be.
No, they said the reason they reduced the 30 months, they reduced it to 30 months was because they cooperated in investigation. If not, it would have been more.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying,
yes.
whether this ban will stop at the World Bank
World
or
Bank,
other sectors.
sectors.
Because if they are corrupt in the World Bank, then that means they are corrupt in other sectors. For me, if you want me to recommend, they should be banned from business for the next 30 months, just like the World Bank has given to them, so that they to give it to people, men of integrity and honor.
To come to those places.
Yes.
Now, let's bring it home a little bit. Bringing it home in the essence of the fact that we see corruption in every facet of our economy, polity. We see it, it's all there. We may try to look as if it's not there. For your budget to be approved, you take money to the House of Rep members. You see, this is, most of the time, we don't want to say them, but everybody, these are known truths. How do we stop these things?
We can only stop this thing, like I mentioned in one of our programs, that when the people decide to stand for truth, for progress, and in unity, keeping tribe and religion aside, working with a same purpose, we will achieve some things that will be good for the country. Now, we talked about two companies owned by the same person being tried by World Bank, and he cooperated. You know why he cooperated? Probably because the representative of World Bank, he discovered they will not take bribe. They will not cut corners. And so he has nothing to do other than to cooperate.
And the evidence were there.
Minister of Humanitarian, for crying out loud.
Yes,
under Buhari.
yes, before you continue, we always have evidence everywhere.
I am talking Minister of Humanitarian. You could imagine the volume of money they claim to have gotten and how they disburse them to vulnerable Nigerians.
And no one
and no one. There's so many evidence. After they removed Farida, Dr. Betta came on board. These people are still working freely. You see, in fact, when Betta was removed from office, Mr. President was in what country? And she was there with him. I think it was France. She was there with him. So when you keep celebrating and keep covering corrupt people, others will understand that once they're in the same good record with the leaders, they can take. If they are caught, nothing will be done.
Only in Nigeria you see a house committee on a particular a ministry or parastatal or whatever it is, and doing oversight function and collecting money before budgets are approved.
Well, you see, these things we are saying we all know, but you cannot prove them. So let's keep that aside and work.
We can't keep it aside.
No. Let's even work with things that are fact.
See.
It's only in Nigeria that your national stadium or road will be constructed by foreign companies with volume of money that will be times 10 of the same quality of job done in other countries with the same materials, and then the money will be different, will differ. Ours will be higher, the other will be normal, and nobody talks. So our problem here has to do with our political office holders. We talked about EFCC here yesterday.
Exactly.
We talked about EFCC.
Just hold it. That's why I'm going to hold on, because we don't have much time.
Yes.
Because most of the time we normally say, let's not say that.
Yes.
Somebody say remove the mic.
Yes.
We always remove it in the mic.
Yes.
We talked about the FCC yesterday. And we talked about them doing a sting operation 3 a.m. in the night when there is a circular. Because right now, what we gathered before was that EFCC said there should not be operations at those kind of time, and they didn't have a warrant. Now they say they have a warrant of arrest.
Manufactured.
Well, we don't know. Why the sting operation after they brought out a circular that there should not be sting operation in wee hours? These are the corruption we are talking about. You're rounding up statements.
You know, my random, I will go back to the question you asked on my boy like that he elaborated on. He said that until the people are willing, when we are willing and we elect the right persons, those things you marshal out, this oversight function, we all know that it is all the jobs in the ministry are owned by the honorable members and the senators.
Exactly.
It is not secret that they will collect money before they put money in budget. It's no secret. Whether EFCC are doing sting operation or not, it's no secret. But why is it persistent? It's persistent because you do not put a round peg in the right hole, or you don't put a square peg in a square hole, until the Nigerian people now had a focus that, look, we are not going to elect religion, we are not going to elect tribe, we are going to elect on merit, like what the political parties, the opposition are trying to do. They said, so we said, look, we are going around the nook and corner of this country, and we get the best among us to lead us. If they can do that,
irrespective of religion or political
or tribe or whatever, we get the best among us, and we say, you lead us.
Until then,
we will remain where we are. We will go worse.
Of course.
All right. My guy said the right peg in the right hole. That's when we'll get to where we're going. And there's something Honorable Philip said to us. He said, as long as we elect the right people, we will not get to where we are going to. We'll be right back on News Inside.